As human, there's always a first time to everything that we do. A first time of driving a car, a first time of using a gadget. If there's always a first time to everything, right? But the issue is the mistakes we make when we are doing things for the first time. So being a first timer is not a problem, it's not an issue. There's always a first time to everything. But the issue is the mistakes that we might make when making when doing things for the first time. And so in this today's video, I'll be talking about the mistakes first time land buyers make. And the last one is the most important. So make sure you finish watching this video so you can get it. So if you're joining for the first time, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a channel where I will talk about real estate, investment, and of course millennial living. And I am your host, Jesutofunmi Adediran, the Property Babe. Let's dive right into it. The number one mistake that most land buyers make in Nigeria is not checking the documentation of the property, not checking it properly. Now, I know that when you get property, you get receipt, you get your receipt and your payment acknowledgement slip. Those are the things that show that you actually made a purchase, but they have not transferred that receipt. Did not transfer, did not show you are the owner of that property. And what backs up your claim that you are the owner of the property is the document that you receive, either your deed of conveyance or assignment, your C of O, your survey plan. These are important documents that you should have that gives you the rightful claim to a property that you have bought. So not just the receipts. The receipts are good, they are okay, they are things that you should have, but the important thing is having your documents. That being said, let's move to number two. Not verifying land ownership. So you have to verify the ownership of the property before you make such purchase. Go to, and how do you do that? You check from the Ministry of Land or Land Registry before to check the property to know if the person that is about to sell that property to you is actually the rightful owner. So that is going to give you an edge. So don't make this some number two mistake. Let's move to the number three. Not doing a land search or site inspection. Many people buy property without doing site inspection, and these days you don't need to do the physical site inspection. For instance, now if you are not in the country and you want to get a property, you can always do the virtual inspection that will take you through the road to the place and even the property itself. Do you understand? So it is important that you do your land search and land inspection. This will help you to know the coordinate where the property is, if the property is not in a swampy area, because you get to see it with yourself. Inspection is very important, so don't make this mistake when you are buying your property. So number four mistake is rushing into payment without due diligence. So do not rush into payment without making your due diligence. Check out the necessary things that you need to know, such as the where the property is, with the documents you'll be receiving, like I've said before. And then you don't rush because somebody is putting pressure on you that if you don't pay now, you are going to. Don't allow pressure or the seemingly cheapness, let me use that English, the cheapness of the property to force you into buying a property, because at the end of the day you might be rushing into trouble. So take your time, because this is an investment that you generational wealth, right? That can lead to generational wealth. So you want to take the right step, you want to take the right decision, right? You don't want to just buy a property that at long run you still lose it because you didn't do your due diligence. So always do your due diligence and do not allow pressure make you rush into buying. Another mistake that people make when buying land for the first time is dealing with the wrong people. Yes, they have seen cases of people that bought property and then they have to rebuy it, or they even lose the land entirely. So make sure you are dealing with the rightful owner. Be sure the person you are dealing with is the rightful owner, or a verified and a certified agent like myself. You know that your money is safe. So make sure that you are making your purchase from the rightful owner. So mistake that people make when buying property is not knowing the zoning or land use type. That is dangerous, very dangerous. I made a video and I was explaining types of land that we have in Nigeria. There are different types of land we have in Nigeria. It's not every land that you see that is free, that is free for you to buy and use for for whatever you want to use it for. Some lands are owned by the government. Some land are even they have been earmarked for something else. There are some property now that they are meant for agriculture. So if you go and buy such property and you have it in mind that you want to use it to build a commercial space or you want to build where you'll be staying, then you might lose your investment. So some weeks back, there was somebody in my office. He wanted to get a property and he was lamenting about how he bought a property, a huge, like an acre of property. And if I later found out that that property is an agricultural property that is meant for agriculture. So, and he had the intention of building a rental apartment on it. Now look at that. Well, he didn't lose entirely, but at the same time, the investment he intended that property to be for, he couldn't make it of because not know he didn't know the zoning of that property. So you have to know the zoning. So don't make that mistake. Know the zoning of the property you are buying, and you can know that from the Ministry of Land. You will see the zoning of the property you want to buy. Another mistake people make when buying property is paying without thinking about the future development plans. There might be future development plans for that property which is not seen now. There's some property that they are already earmarked for probably pipeline. Some are earmarked for schools, some are they've been earmarked for some other things. So if you buy such property and then in future the government comes and says, oh, this is meant for pipeline, there's going to be a problem because then your investment has gone just like that. So you have to make sure that you look at the future development plans too before making property. And all of these things boils down to knowing the zoning and also knowing if the land is free or acquired. And I have a video on that. I'm going to attach it to this video so you can watch the types of land that we have in Nigeria. So let's move to the last one. Yeah, who is excited? So you watch this video to the last, you have done well. So let's go to the last one. The last mistake that people make is not taking long term. Not thinking long term. You have to think long term when you are making a real estate investment. So you have to think about if the place is going to be developed in the future. There are some places that you buy them. We know, yes, everywhere there's always a level of development for every property, but there are some places that the way the environment is, development might not get to that place in a long time. I mean, in 20 years and all of that. And you don't want to get stuck in such an investment. So you have to know the price. Don't focus only on the price. Don't focus that this place is cheap or this place is looking, oh, I think the price is okay. Look at the long term. Is this, ask yourself questions. Is there growth? Is this the neighborhood going to develop in the nearest future? Is there going to be growth? Is there going to be all of is it looking like it? So these questions, they are very important when you are buying a property, and they will help you increase your property will appreciate in value when you answer this question, because you're not just buying, you are buying strategically. So thank you for watching today's episode, and I am Jesutofunmi, the property babe. And if you find this video helpful, subscribe, like, and comment, and let me know any other video you would love me to make next time. Until we meet again, thank you for joining. Bye.